noise, glorious noise. It's back! It's back. It's back. I'm back. And oh my god, I'm sorry that I was not here last week, but I was in no shape whatsoever to do a live stream. Ugh, I was sick. Yeah, and I know that I've already got a sick mind. There's no denying that. But let's put the comments on the screen, boys and girls. There we go. All right. This week, cream soda zeros sugar Dr. Pepper for a change. Anyway, Greg's going on and on. What is this? Don't listen to Bill's synthesizer with headphones. It will cause hallucination. Unless that's what you want. Oh my god. Zapolent, hello. And hello, Mr. Fradley. Good to see you. And you be one of us, and I one of you. Ah, yes, ASMR for the lovely, incandescent condensation of the carbonation, etc., etc. So, since you folks had to wait for an entire freaking week to hear me coming back to you, might as well explain. Let's see. I thought I had a cold last week, and on Friday, I did a podcast recording, which you folks will be able to hear soon, and it's a particular podcast that has something to do with that dude right there. Yeah. Anyway, so I recorded a podcast. Said, "Hey guys, I got a little cold, but I'll go through this and record this because I think I'll be fine tomorrow." Well, on Saturday, actually no, Friday night, I just started getting sicker. My nose is getting clogged up. I couldn't breathe. And by Saturday morning, I had a fever. I was taking all sorts of cough and cold medicine, and I was taking lots of mega doses of vitamins, and it was helping very, very little. And my mood was getting very, very, very sour. I couldn't perform properly. I couldn't function. So I decided to go to an urgent care. I went to an urgent care place, and what they did is, first of all, they rammed a swab up my nose to check for COVID, which I did not have, thankfully. And then they listened to me breathe for a bit because I was wheezing. I was when I was trying to. Very nice, Michael. But it's like I would try to sleep at night. I could only sleep if my mouth was open, and then my mouth got completely dry, and I was waking up every hour and a half. It was horrible. It was terrible. So anyway, so they listened to me breathe, and they said, "Yeah, you got allergies. So we're going to give you a breathing treatment, and we're going to prescribe some lovely things for you, such as an inhaler." Oh yes, good old albuterol. And talked to my regular doctor, recommended some nose spray for me. Not coughing as much as usual. Man, last time I was here 2 weeks ago, I was coughing like crazy, and I apologize for that. But here I am, and there you are. And thank you so much. I am Bill, if you couldn't figure it out already, and you're watching Bill's Box of Sound. I want to thank you so much for stopping by. Really appreciate you folks for hanging out and coming back after I wasn't here last week. So, got the old synthesizer out, made some funny noises. Got the old sound gizmo out, wherever I put that, yeah. And you know how I love the noises that this thing makes. All right. And I've got the comments going right there. So if you're watching on a TV, you can actually see what's coming into the chat room. So I know most of you are probably watching on your computers. But anyway, what's been going on these past 2 weeks? Huh? Well, I got a whole list of stuff. There was a quick re-release of the Beatles mono boxed set that was only available online, and everybody's going, "Oh yeah, finally! I don't have to pay $2,000 for a complete set of Beatles albums in mono, mastered back in, I think it was 2014, 2015, completely from analog." So they said it's going to be available at this time, at this place, blah, blah, blah. Go online and order it. And within 1 hour, they were all gone. And I have a feeling that a lot of the purchases were of 4 copies, because there was a limit of 4 copies that you were allowed to buy at one time. And I have a feeling that flippers bought the majority of these. I know a couple people got them. I think my friend Joey out in Parma got a set, but yeah, lots of people were trying to buy that Beatles box set. They got locked out because within, I think, a half an hour, 40 minutes, boom, they were all gone. So sorry to hear about that, folks. We'll see what happens. Follow up on the Giles and Fripp re-release. I had reported that there was a re-release of The Cheerful Insanity of Giles and Fripp, along with a second record. I forgot the name of it again. Let me just bring it up here. Let's see. And let's see here. Let's see here. I should have written it down, actually. Okay, yeah. Selection from the Brondesby tapes. It's a second album. Now, they were previously only available on Burning Shed. They're going to be released in early July. And you can order them from burningshed.com. But I noticed that on Amazon, the album Cheerful Insanity of Giles and Fripp is available by itself for pre-order on CD or on vinyl. No words on the Brondesby tapes, but you never know. It may show up between now and then. So, for those of you in America, if you want to save a few bucks in shipping, you can order that from Amazon. Especially if you got Amazon Prime. If you don't have Prime, then you may have to pay for shipping. So there. There was a announcement of the new Rhino Hi-Fi titles. 2 titles. Stevie Nicks' album, Belladonna, and the Wilco album, AM. Now, personally, I'm not a big fan of either of those two. And there was a lot of people that were commenting on the Rhino Hi-Fi page on Facebook saying, "I never heard of this band Wilco. What the hell are they? Why should this get a hi-fi treatment?" Where there's a lot of people who really dig Wilco. I personally am not one of them. I've tried to get into them, got a couple of their albums, listened to them over and over again. They just never hit me. Once I found out that Wilco AM was the album that was out, I streamed it, listened to it, and it's like, no, it ain't hitting me. I don't want to buy it. But there's plenty of people that are crazy about Wilco, and they're buying it. Hello, Memphis Lonnie. Good to see you, sir. All right. So those have been coming out. Now, The next thing that's going to be coming out in the next few weeks, or that's going to be announced in the next couple of weeks, is a Rhino Hi-Fi boxed set. And the only thing that we've been teased with is that it's going to be a boxed set and it's going to be an American band or an American act. And it's not going to be jazz. So I'm wondering, what are they going to release on Hi-Fi in a box? Now, the first thing I thought was Grateful Dead, but there's been so many Grateful Dead re-releases of the studio albums already. Probably not. I was thinking maybe Alice Cooper, The Band Years. That would be great because those albums sound fantastic. And the Love It to Death reissue, although I did not pick it up for myself, I'll bet you sounds great because that was a great sounding album. Very proggy. And so, we can talk about Killer, Billion Dollar Babies, Muscle of Love. That would be very cool if the Alice Cooper catalog was put, the Alice Cooper band catalog, that is, was put in a boxed set. Be everything up to, but not including Welcome to My Nightmare. I'm just spitballing here. I have no idea and no knowledge of who they might be. So, oh, Ensenada made an appearance, huh? Wish you were there. Let's see. You're supposed to see the Residents perform Eskimo live tonight, but I stayed home due to the protests in LA. Understandable. And it says that Ensenada made an appearance. I wish I was there. Ensenada, eh? Or whoever the Residents want Ensenada to be. That's the one thing about the Residents. Nearly everything that they've told the public is a lie or a story. But that's cool. That's what the mystique of the Residents is and the wonderfulness of the Residents is. So, yeah. And yes, I am well, Paul. Thank you very much. So let's get back to our guessing. Yeah, right. Who would protest the Residents? Thank you, Lonnie. I do not protest the Residents. Yeah, we know this. Ensenada has always been Homer. That's true. Anyway, so let's go back to guessing. Who is going to be the artist that Rhino Hi-Fi is going to put out on their next Hi-Fi set? So I just started thinking, is it maybe a solo act? Joni Mitchell? Randy Newman? That might be something. Hey, Kevin, how are you doing? Good to see you, sir. So maybe Randy Newman. Randy Newman hasn't gotten that much of a hi-fi treatment lately. Maybe after the success of the Black Sabbath first album and Paranoid on hi-fi, they're going to do 5 or 6 albums and make a whole Black Sabbath box. Maybe. Yes, no. Sam Cooke, I don't think so, Lonnie, because Warner, the Warner labels do not have access to the Sam Cooke masters. That's pretty much RCA, BMG, Sony. They have control of that. I'm thinking maybe a Ramones box. That would be cool. Maybe an MC5 box, kind of like a reissue of that full set of MC5. That would be cool. I was also thinking maybe Flaming Lips. They are a Warner Brothers act. They might have a boxed set of Flaming Lips releases. And very cool. Kevin has done a good crate of Dig today. Awesome. Could it be Van Halen? Hey, that would be cool. I know that they recently remastered all the Van Halen albums. They had a David Lee Roth box set and they had a Sammy Hagar boxed set. That would be an interesting set, but it would probably anger a lot of Van Halen fans who bought those 2 sets already. But that's possibly anyway. Another band that I thought has not been getting any audiophile love that may be a good selection to be released on Rhino Hi-Fi. How about Little Feat? That would be cool. Have the studio albums up to and including Waiting for Columbus. That would be cool. Ooh, Jaden Taylor. That's a possibility. Very, very good. Very good suggestion. Hello, DJ Trish. Good to see you. Santana. Nope. That's mostly Sony. It's almost all Sony. It's Columbia Sony. Anyway, more bands that I thought might be getting the hi-fi treatment from Rhino. Um, Love. We could have the first Love album, Da Capo, um, Forever Changes, and I think they had one other album other than that. That would be a very cool Rhino hi-fi boxed set. How about some Talking Heads studio albums? I know that the Naked album, their last studio album, was recorded digitally, so it might not qualify for a Rhino hi-fi unless they bend the rules. But seeing as the 50th anniversary of the Talking Heads' first gig was this week, that might be something that they're releasing. And the only other band that is on that family of labels that they still have the rights to them, I was thinking maybe the Eagles boxed set. But I would think maybe not because the guys who are the Eagles, or at least control the Eagles' masters, have so much litigation tied up in their contracts, there would probably be an exceptionally higher price for that set. Very interesting. I mean, when Acoustic Sounds did their Atlantic Records 75th anniversary stuff, anything associated with Crosby, Stills, and Nash, another band that has a lot of very good legal representation behind them, all of their double 45 Atlantic 75th anniversary sets, any of those that got released on Analog Productions, all the other single albums were priced at $60. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, Graham Nash, and David Crosby, all those $65 a piece. They upped the price $5 just on the Crosby, Stills, and Nash titles. So you can figure out where that's going. So that's just a couple of ideas. Let's see what else have you been thinking? Let's see. Warner's presents Frank Zappa the Lawsuit Years. Nope, they don't own those anymore, Lonnie. Back when Frank won all of the controls to his masters, all that stuff went over to Frank. So um, Universal, who purchased all the Frank Zappa albums and the vault materials and the rights to all the music and the name and the likeness of Frank Zappa in concert with the Zappa family. That's where all the official Zappa stuff's going to come from. No Rhino, no Warner's, all Universal. And I think that would be cool. And yeah, well, yeah, Beefheart would be an interesting. Although there have been a lot of really good Captain Beefheart reissues. There was a reissue of Bat Chain Puller, and well, let's just read them off here, okay? There was some great reissues of the Spotlight Kid and Clear Spot and Bat Chain Puller, and also the live album. I'm gonna do what I want to do. All of those were released, so it's possible. It's not impossible for the Warner's Brothers albums to be released. So maybe next week we will find out and we'll talk more about it. Yeah. Okay. What else is going on here? Let's see. You found the reissued 5-disc box set of the Conet Project, recordings of shortwave number stations. That's different. I've never heard of that. That sounds pretty cool. Yeah. And Zeppelin asks, have you ever done any vinyl reviews of the Reuben and the Jets releases? Well, that is a dual pronged question. Now, are you talking specifically of, let's see, hold on a second. Gotta reach in here. Okay. Are we talking about this Reuben and the Jets? Or are we talking about this Reuben and the Jets? The actual band Reuben and the Jets, who put out 2 albums on the Mercury label. Let's see here. I haven't listened to these in a long time. I should listen to them. Anyway, the first album, For Real, which was, I'm pretty sure that this was produced by Frank Zappa. Indeed, yes. The album was produced by Frank Zappa, and the cover was done by Cal Schenkel. Then there is the second Reuben and the Jets album called Cansaphos, which was produced by Danny Randell, still under the business direction of Herb Cohen. And wow, I think I may be listening to this album once. Yeah, this album is in tip-top shape, like it's never been touched by human hands, or even animal hands. You never know. So, okay, so you're talking about the Zappa album, Reuben and the Jets, right here. I've never really done a. Wait, nope. The Mercury release. Okay, so no, I have never done a review, but you know what? Maybe I should do a review of both of those in one video, because there's a lot that I can say about the Reuben and the Jets album, not only the original, but also the one that Frank re-recorded all the bass and drum tracks on, that a lot of Zappa fans don't like, and for damn good reason. So, very cool. But yeah, you never know. I may do a Reuben and the Jets and Reuben and the Jets. Very good idea. Thank you for the suggestion. I like that. I like that. You guys got your brains moving here. Yeah. And oh, yeah. Paul's been getting into some Miles, I see. ESP and Miles have been on repeat. Fantastic. 2 really good albums of the second great quintet of Wayne Shorter, Herbie Hancock, Tony Williams, Ron Carter, and of course, Mr. Miles Davis himself. Oh, nice. So, I like the new Sparks album. I plan on putting out a review about it. It's really good. So, what can we do now? Let's see, let's go through some new arrivals in my home. Records. I had specified that the day after the most recent live stream, which was 2 weeks ago, that I was going to a record show the next day. I was going to be selling records, and I did do that. And I sold between $100 and $200 worth of records, which is nice, and a bunch that I didn't sell as well. I'm still thinking about maybe having a auction sometime. But I didn't buy any records there. But the only thing that I did do is a few weeks ago I talked about a Pharoah Sanders release called Izifo Zam, also known as My Gifts, on the Strata East label, which was released for Record Store Day. It was one of the couple of albums that I wanted to get on Record Store Day this year that I wasn't able to get because it sold out right away. And I think I also mentioned that I had picked up the album by Charles Tolliver and Music Inc. Live at Slugs Volume 1 and Volume 2. Finally got to sit down and listen to this fantastic set on the Strata East label. You can buy it from your local store. You can buy it from Amazon. You can buy it from Acoustic Sounds. Or you can go to bandcamp.com and buy these albums direct from Strata East, along with any of their other re-releases or new releases. And when you buy these, you get the download for no extra charge, and sometimes the downloads have extra music. This specific one has like 45 extra minutes of music recorded at the same gig. Fantastic stuff. For those of you who like some on the edge of free jazz, hard bop from the 70s. That's kind of how I'd but it's really great playing. But anyway, Pharoah Sanders, this album here, a friend of the show, Joe Rivers, he reached out to me and said, "Hey, I bought a copy of this. It's a good album, but I didn't like it that much." "Oh, okay." He says, "I'll sell you my copy for right around what I paid for it." And I said, "I'll sign up for that." So I messaged him the morning of the show and I said, "Hey, if you're coming out to look at records, bring it. I'll buy it from you." So I did. And I'm very, very happy. Thank you, Joey. You are awesome. And I love this album, even with the strange Leon Thomas vocals. He vocalizes in a very strange way, flipping, like cracking his voice and going up and down, only in a controlled way. I've heard some similar vocalizations on a Yellow album, but I digress. This is a very well done album, cut by Kevin Gray at Coherent. So, very happy to get that. And I've got more to speak about with Kevin Gray in a little bit. I got a hold of some records from Discover's, let's say, Sound of Music or You Discover, one of those. They had like a 30% off sale, free shipping if you go above a certain amount. And it's like, well, I missed out on a couple of titles when they had a half off sale. Let me see if any of those titles are available. And the first thing I looked for was this right here. The Bloodhound Gang. Hooray for boobies. Can't really show it. The back's kind of interesting. And I love the gatefold. What the heck is this? Anyway, I wanted to get that, but they sold out of it. I was quite incensed about that. There's an insert in here, which has the Bloodhound Gang right there. For those of you who are not that familiar with the Bloodhound Gang, very juvenile lyrics, very infantile, offensive lyrics, very not ready for prime time, very explicit, but the writing, the arrangement, and the techno sense of it, I really dig, and I like a lot of different stuff. But this has songs like "Mope" and "The Bad Touch" on it, and a few of these songs are really good. This is expanded to a 2-record set. The entire regular album on the first 3 sides. The 4th side has some remixes, which are okay. But it's on Splatter Vinyl. Oop, wait a second. Splatter Vinyl. Let's take a look at this. The first one's got blue and white Splatter Vinyl. And the second record has yellow and white Splatter Vinyl. So, not completely sure what that signifies other than the color scheme of the album. But I was happy to finally get a Bloodhound Gang album on vinyl because these things are hard to get. You look on Discogs, you look on the Bloodhound Gang website, their records are friggin' expensive. They're hard to get. People just snap them up. CDs are a dime a dozen for those though. I've got one Fierce beer coaster. I've got that one. I've also got Hefty Fine on CD, but I wanted to get some vinyl. Anyway, next thing I got from You Discover, Thelonious Monk, Genius of Modern Music, Volume 2. And I was not aware that this is a 10-inch record. And this is mastered by Bernie Grundman and Chris Bellman. Although I think that this was pressed at not Universal, United Record Pressing in Nashville. So the pressing quality itself is not that great, but the sound is very nice. This has 8 Thelonious Monk tracks. Players on this album include Milt Jackson on vibes, Sahib Shabab on alto sax, Al McKibben on bass, Art Blakey on drums. Just some nice stuff. There's some trio stuff. There's some full band stuff. Danny Quebec West on alto sax, Billy Smith on tenor sax, and of course Thelonious Monk at the piano and composing the tunes. Last thing I got, kind of disappointed in, because I wanted to buy this for a long time. And this is a combination of poorly recorded record with equally bad mastering. I got a copy of Amy Winehouse Back to Black. Great tunes, very interesting retro production, but sound quality of a lot of these just leaves a bit to be desired. There's like intentionally distorted bass drums that just don't sound right. They sound like they were just not done properly. So, I'm glad that I have this because it's a good it's a good set of tunes, but very sad with the sound quality of this album. They could have done a lot better. What can I say? That's about it. Now I said I was going to say something about Kevin Gray and Coherent Audio. The third release from Kevin Gray's Coherent Records imprint is on its way. Sax player Corey Weeds has a new album called Dig Weeds. And from what I hear, it's some pretty good stuff. Of course, recorded direct to 2-track and an all-tube mastering chain. We know it's going to sound fantastic, but I want to hear what the music is going to sound like. But I've heard a lot of good things about it. So far, the modern jazz records that have been recorded in the last couple of years that have come out on audiophile labels, the best one that I've heard has not been a Coherent release. Give me a second here. Where is it? I gotta find it because I can't remember the guy's name. It starts with a C. Oh, I know it's here someplace. Give me a moment. Un momento, por favor. No. Still looking. Be patient. Oh, what was that guy's name? All right, I'm just gonna have to look it up. It was an album with Rufus Reed on bass and dude playing piano. Let's see. Oh, wait a second. I think I might have it in my Discogs. Here, let's look up Rufus Reed. Oh boy. Here we go. Rufus Reed. There it is. Kalen Cardello. That's it. Cardello. So it'll be right before the Cars. Right before Vicky Carr. Before Larry Carlton. Before Walter Carlos. Or Wendy Carlos. Here it is. Yeah. This one right here. Not only is this a fantastic sounding album, this is a album of really good music. I've liked the first two releases on Coherent, the Kristen Adkins and the Hackensack West one, but maybe I'll go back to it. I'll like it a little bit more. But I'm really interested to hear this Cory Weeds. I've heard a lot of great things about him. So that's that. And arriving on my doorstep tomorrow morning, according to FedEx, is the last, and probably the last one I'll ever buy, of the UHQRs of Steely Dan, The Royal Scam. Yes, I know. Robert Fitton said it the best. He says, The Royal Scam is a perfect title for those ultra high quality records, or what they say they are, because they are a scam. They are way too much money. Yeah, I know. I know that they cost a lot of money. They are overpriced, but with all of the things that go along with them and the quality of the sound, the majority of these, in my opinion, have been worth it. I'm gonna probably do an unboxing. I'm gonna do a review of it, and then I plan on doing a complete retrospective of all the Dual 45 Steely Dan albums for the entire catalog. So there we go. All right, and oh, wait a second. What's this here? Here is a link to listen to the Conet Project box set. You can also download the box set for free because it's out of print and hard to find. Okay, let's see if the system will allow you to send the link. Give it a try. That'd be cool. I'd be interested in that. I might check it out. I mean, is it on Bandcamp or what's the name of the company that's selling it? That's what I want to know. Oh, time for more of this cream soda. It's not bad. I also enjoy the Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream zero sugar. But the cherry Dr. Pepper and the blackberry Dr. Pepper practically tastes like cough syrup. And I've had enough with blowing snot out my nose and taking all sorts of medications to get myself back to normal this week. It's crazy. So, Urdial Records. So, check it out, folks, if you are interested in it. Like he said, it's a reissued 5-disc box set of the Conet Project and shortwave number stations. Very interested in seeing that. Yeah, that's interesting. I should find out why it wouldn't let you show the link, because it's I believe it's supposed to do that. Let me check something out here. Let's see. What is our second baseman? Okay, I don't get it. I don't get it, Lonnie. Sorry. Let me check the settings on the comments here. General guests. Yeah, you know what? I think that being able to put links in the chat on here now, it also hmm, I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, har har har. No. Yeah, what's on second base? I don't know who's on third. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. That came out of left field. All right. So what else is going on? Oh, more new records? Are there more new records? No, that's about it. A podcast that I have listened to that I very highly recommend. Bob Lefsetz. Great interview with Michael Garson, who played piano for David Bowie and a lot of other people for many years. And this interview was so good that I just had to dig out. Where is it? My copy of Aladdin Sane. What a great album. Came out in 1973. And I remember when I had my little portable tape recorder and WMMS played this album in its entirety just before it got released to the public. And I recorded it on cassette way back then. Just listen to that thing back and forth. This is a great fucking album. And yeah, Mike Garson plays some unbelievable piano on this album. So check that out. I know there's also a documentary about Michael Garson called Mike Garson and His 88 Friends, which is about the 88 keys on the piano. Um, Watching the trailer for that movie, I'm not too sure how good it's going to be, so I'm not going to recommend it at this time. There was another Bob Lefsetz podcast episode that I listened to of Peter Wolf, most mostly known as being the vocalist for the Jay Giles Band, talking about his new book. Um, and it's a memoir, mostly of stories of people he's met and had dealings with over the years. It has very little to do with Jay Giles' band, very little to do with his marriage to Faye Dunaway, and yeah, you know what? I thought the exact same thing, Michael, when it came out. When you first heard Aladdin Sane on the radio, you thought that the piano must be Keith Tippett. Yeah, shades of cat food. But yeah, he tells a story about how that particular piano solo happened. He tried all sorts of different styles, and David Bowie just sat down with him and said, "Listen, I hired you because people said you were an avant-garde piano player. Go nuts on this piano solo. Go avant-garde." So that's what he did, and it's a masterpiece. It's beautiful. Oh, I also love the way he attacks the piano on Bowie's cover of the Rolling Stones' "Let's Spend the Night Together." Very, very excellent. And what other podcast did I listen to that I really enjoyed the hell out of? But yes, Zeppelant. I will definitely check that out. I've written it down here. I'm very interested in checking that out because you know how I like the weirdness. But let's see, recent podcast that I've listened to. Let's see here. Oh, Mark Maron, the WTF podcast. He's going to be calling it quits in a few months, which was a shame. But I think it's going to be fine. I'm listening to his interview with Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age. So far, really interesting. And was there something, another one of these that I listened to lately? Let's see. What is there a recent? Ah, most recent playing. Okay. Um, nope, that's not it. Okay. There was a decent interview with Chad Cass, some of Acoustic Sounds on Caro Pop. Um, and what else was there? There was a interesting recent. Come on. Where is it? Thought there was a Conan O'Brien podcast that I wanted to recommend as well. Um, I have seen the Pee Wee Herman documentary called Pee Wee as Himself, which is streaming on the Max channel, and really happy with that because I've been a Pee Wee Herman fan for a very long time. Uh, Back when the original adult targeted Pee Wee Herman show appeared on HBO. I had been following his career ever since throughout the movie and the kids show and everything else. So, if you're a Pee Wee fan, uh, check it out. The ending is not a tearjerker, but it is very heartfelt. So you won't be crying like crazy. Let's see here. Okay, we only got a few more minutes to do stuff here. And let's see. You were 10 years old when you saw Bowie for the first time? Wow. That's fantastic. Sadly, even though I live in Cleveland and he played Cleveland a lot, I never got to see Bowie live, and I'm kicking myself for not doing it. Missed the guy like crazy. Saw Lou Reed. um, who else did I see? That's, I've seen many bands over the years. Anyway, that's where those things are. So, got enough time for one random pull. Okay, I'm gonna reach over here. No, I'm gonna reach over here and go farther back and pull something out. Hopefully, it won't be a Residents record because I know I'm very close to where the Residents are. Oh, and it's not. It's a Red Hot Chili Peppers album. One of the ones that's not that good, The Getaway. Yeah, I do not recommend this Red Hot Chili Peppers album. I recommended a lot of the ones before that, though. And let's see here. Which one is this one? By the way, I also recommend this one, but I don't recommend the vinyl version of it because the mastering on this one's not that good. Mostly on the Red Hot Chili Peppers Warner Brothers releases. Hey, maybe Rhino's doing a Red Hot Chili Peppers hi-fi set. Ooh, that would be nice. Anyway, um, a lot of the Warner Brothers Red Hot Chili Peppers albums, like Californication, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, and uh, Californication, and Stadium Arcadium. The mastering on those for vinyl is fantastic. Blows the CDs away because the CDs are compressed and too freaking loud. But on some of them, like that By the Way, which is an okay album, the vinyl mastering just is that one was not a hit. It was a definite miss. Okay. So the only other time we got to see Bowie was with Tin Machine. They didn't play any Bowie catalog songs, and I think that was cool. Very cool. All right. So next week we're going to be talking about all sorts of different things. Working on the next Zappacast, which should be out before the street date of the retail version of Cheaper Than Cheap, which is the most recent Zappa release. And I've got it. Nope, that's not it. Here it is. Got it right here. Cheaper Than Cheap. This is fantastic. It's the CD version includes the Blu-ray movie, a 2-hour, completely unheard previously Zappa and the Mothers concert. This concert's never been bootlegged. It's never been out for download. It is a fantastic recording of the 74 band with Ruth Underwood, with Jeff Simmons, George Duke, Napoleon Murphy Brock, Chester Thompson, and Tom Fowler on bass. All right. So you wish they would do something with Zoot Allures. Well, I think that eventually one day we will see some Zoot Allures, but I don't know when. I'm just gonna make a wild guess that maybe they'll get to that in 2026 because it'll be a 50th anniversary of that then. But I don't know what their plans are. There's a lot of great Zappa albums that are coming up with their 50th anniversary, and that would be a great reason to put out some 50th anniversary sets with all sorts of extra material. But I don't know what they have, and it shall be revealed to us eventually. But right now, Cheaper Than Cheap is the flavor of the moment, and I've got a feeling that within the next month or so they may announce a further one, because I've also heard that this year's going to be busy for Zappa releases. That's all I know. I don't know anything else. I ask repeatedly. The information just has not been given to me. So I can't tell you as a result. So there. All right. So 56 minutes. What are we going to do? Yeah, let's do just a little bit more synthesizer. And please hit the like, hit the subscribe. Mighty big thanks to all of you who have stopped by this evening for one or all. Let's see. Okay, here we are. We've got, you're hoping for a 50th and a Bongo Fury? Okay, that'd be cool. And let's see, Zoot Allures is wonderful. Oh, yeah, of course it is. Let's see, would be interesting to hear the original 2 LP configuration of Zoot Allures. Yeah, that would. That's been rumored for many years. I'd kind of forgotten that that was originally thought of it as a 2-record set. Also, let's see, there's a couple of other things. There was an album called Crush All Boxes that was supposed to be released at one time. Oh, whatever. Anyway, so making some noise. So, all right, folks, thanks again. Oh, be nice to one another. Listen to some music. I had a great time. Hope you did too. Until next week, stay happy, stay healthy, and go listen to some music. Check out that Conet project that Zeppelin was asking about earlier. That sounds like a lot of fun. I may check that out later on tonight. If I stop doing all the other things that I'm doing. So yeah, I'm gonna try not to get sick anymore. I'm only sick in the mind, okay? And but the thing is, it's a healthful illness. But all right, that's enough. All right, crazy noises. Our first order of the day. There we go. I love it. Push for love. Stay away from those demonstrations unless they are peaceful demonstrations. I hope nobody's getting hurt out there. Thanks a lot for the information, Paul. Alright. Take care. I'm out of here.